Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's Link for Growth TV show. As usual, we have a full and packed show. We've got Chris out and about as usual. Tania will be doing all the local news. Neal's doing all the sports as usual, and Catherine's got a whole lot of gigs and cultural information that's happening over the next couple of days. So, Tania, you've got a couple of big headlines for us.
I have, Diane, I have, absolutely. So we've spoken about the elections before, but the time is getting closer. So some more information about the elections. A fantastic, she says, a piece of information about fly tipping arrests in the area, and brilliant opportunity for local singers. The Voice is coming to town. So yeah, really good things.
Okay, great. So hopefully your voice will remain with us for the whole time this week, after last week's shenanigans.
Yes, I am planning on making it that way.
Yes, I have my fingers crossed the internet fairies are going to work for us this week.
That's cool.
Anyway, Neal, you're going to be talking about Watford amongst other things, aren't you?
Yep, got a good result for Watford last week, and we'll be talking about their upcoming games and some news on a new Watford world champion.
Okay, that's great. And Catherine, you've got lots of music news for us, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got music, we've got drama, we've got dance, we've got things going on at the Horns. We've got a Bob Dylan tribute act coming to the Horns. We've got, as I say, music, dance and drama coming to Watford Palace Theatre, to Watersmeet Theatre in Rickmansworth, and the Watford Coliseum. And I have you to blame, Diane, for just having purchased some tickets to go and see Nigel Kennedy, because I'd forgotten he was there. You sent me the link, and now I've gone and bought tickets for it. So I'm going to have to break that one to Nick somehow.
I can't help that, Catherine. It's just, I just put it out there, and what you do is your choice.
What can you do?
You live in a free world, and if you live in a free world, you had the choice of going to you've missed the last 3 Link for Growth events, which is a shame. You didn't even go.
I was there in spirit, all of them.
Good, good. Last Monday was a Link for Coffee at Reason Coffee Shop Monday morning. Wednesday we had Link for Drinks in Rickmansworth, which again had quite a good turnout, and there was some fairly interesting discussions there happening around the table and everything. And then yesterday there was Link for Coffee at the Mercure Hotel on the A41, which is one Catherine usually hosts but couldn't be there. Chris is with us today, but at the moment he's still on the road trying to get to the place where he's going to be doing the interview a bit later on, so that'll be interesting. So it's a really piece of good news about Watford and sport in Watford, and it isn't to do with Watford Football Club. So it was a nice change. Tania, we've talked about this a lot, but the deadline for the elections is ever closer, isn't it?
That's right, Diane, it is, absolutely. So get ready for it. Get your application in to make sure that you can have your vote for the elections, both in Three Rivers for district councillors and across the whole of Hertfordshire for the Police and Crime Commissioner. Now, in Three Rivers there, what the district councillors do, they make choices about parks, leisure, housing, planning and waste management. So if you've got anything to say in Three Rivers about any of those areas, then this is your opportunity to have the person that you want to be speaking for you putting your voice forward. And across the whole of Hertfordshire, it's the Police and Crime Commissioner. So that's all about how police and crime is strategically managed within the area, the whole of Hertfordshire. Now, this week, I also want to make sure that even if you're not going to be in the area on Thursday the 5th of May, which is where the polls are, even if you're not going to be in the area, you think about it in advance and maybe get your postal vote or your proxy vote in. I just got a ticket to go to Glastonbury that week. Actually, it's no, it's not then. But yes, get your postal votes in. I'm not going to be able to vote for the thing in the whether we go into Europe or not, whether we stay in Europe or not during the Glastonbury thing. But you can have postal votes and proxy votes for the local elections too. So get your votes in. Make sure that you take advantage of this opportunity for you to say whether you want this person or that person talking about your local area and policing in your local area. The deadline is looming, so don't delay. Do it this evening, tonight, now.
Yes, the deadline is actually Monday, isn't it? And it's not just Three Rivers, it also applies to Watford Borough Council and Hertsmere District Council.
Yeah, the 18th.
Yeah, which is Monday, so...
Now!
Exactly, and it's very easy to do. You just go onto the government website, search for vote, and then ask you for a national insurance number and everything, and then off you go. It's a really simple process to do.
That's right, unless you live on a boat, in which case it's a little bit more complicated, but even I've got mine in. It's not that difficult. You can do it.
Good, good. Right then, now fly tipping is a bit of a problem and has been a bit of a problem, but police have got some new powers and they're certain to use them.
They are, absolutely. So fly tipping, that's the sort of stuff that happens when people, I don't know, maybe they're clearing out their garden or they're having a new bathroom or a kitchen or something, and either they miss the tip, or lots of tips have closed down these days, so we can't be bothered to go to the nearest tip, or the people that we're employing to do the work can't be bothered to pay to dispose of the rubbish that they're taking out of our homes. So either we or they, for us it doesn't cost anything to use your local tip, but if you're a business, then the business has to pay to dispose of things in the local tip. But either we or they decide that we can't be bothered to do the proper thing, then actually sometimes people go and just dump it in a convenient location. Well, you know, that's pretty unsightly. It stops other people going about their business. It means that potentially contaminated waste is in the way and might cause a danger to animals or to ourselves or to children. So fly tipping really is quite a difficult problem because very often all of this tipping is done illegally when no one's around. Well, not anymore. These days, there's lots of ways that they can find you, and for this particular couple whose vehicle was seized in March of this year, 2 occupants arrested in Halfbourne Road, Bushey, on suspicion of fly tipping offences in the borough. It followed a joint operation between environmental health officers and the police. You know, they really are cramping down on this now, and the occupants were arrested and bailed by police while the council continues its investigation of a number of offences. And what they can now do is seize the vehicle. So they've seized this vehicle, this tipper truck, they've taken it to a nearby tip and they've crushed it on Wednesday the 13th of April at a scrapyard in Watford. So it's not just getting a fine, actually you can have your vehicle seized for fly tipping. So it's a real criminal offence and it can really blight an area. Anyone who wants to give information to the council, they can do so. If you see fly tipping in action, call 999, the council are telling us. Report as much information as possible, especially the registration number of any vehicles. And if you find fly tipped rubbish, don't touch it, it might be dangerous. Report it directly to the council via the website.
Yes, I mean it is quite it can be quite an issue, especially with some trades, you know, and it can, as you say, it can blight the visual appearance of an area. So it's good that they've got these new powers, I think, to stop it happening. Now, the other bit of good news is that a father has signed up for this year's London Marathon to support Watford Main Cap.
Yeah, what a lovely story. So this father whose child attends Mencap's Children's Centre, Jim Morrissey, his son Kenny was born with a rare chromosome abnormality, which means that he's got significant developmental and behavioural issues. So Mr. Morrissey, who describes his son beautifully as a boy of outstanding achievement in the face of adversity. What a lovely way to describe any child. This man is going to support Watford Mencap, who support his son. So their time and compassion knows no boundaries, he says, and hope brings solace to those blessed with disabled children. What a lovely, lovely man. Absolutely going to be running in this year's London Marathon to support Watford Mencap, where his son attends. And if you'd like to support all of that training that he's going to have to do, all of that getting up early on a morning and late at night and 3 or 4 or 5 times a week going out and doing his training to build up to 26.2, I think, miles of running along London streets, then please help his fundraising at virginmoneygiving.com, John Morrissey, MORRISSEY. So really, really lovely thing for him to do to support those lovely people at Watford Mencap.
Yes, exactly, and they do a lot of good work. Now, spring is in the air, and especially in Boreham Wood.
Yeah, this is a lovely time of year, isn't it? People just getting back out in their gardens, and it's actually this week National Gardening Week, so lots of people have been out in their gardens looking for their new plants and moving their bulbs around and all of that sort of thing. And over in Hertsmere in Boreham Wood, a new garden's been officially opened with a red ribbon cutting ceremony. So it's on the corner of Shenley Road and Furze Hill Road, right next to the Co-op Funeral Care office, which is has made a big contribution to the festive lights for the tree. Big Christmas tree in the centre of the garden, which will be festooned with lovely Christmas lights at that particular time of year. So a really nice place. The granite paved seating area, surrounded by more than 40 beautiful wild flowers and grasses, the majority of which are native to the UK. So that's a really, really good resource for the local area, for the local actual the animals and plants in the local area. That native plants, native grasses and things will be a really good resource for the flora and fauna of the area. Really nice. There it is, Shenley Road and Furze Hill Road, next to the Co-op Funeral Care office. Go along and have a look.
Okay, that's great. And there's a new play area opened in Ebury in Three Rivers.
Yeah, now I'm not sure about this, Diane. Is this the one that as you're coming from, I suppose, Bushy or Watford into Ricky and you turn left at that big roundabout? It's just on that inside corner there. I think that's where it is, the Ebury Play Area, located within the open space of the Aquadrome in Ricky. Is that where it is, do you think?
I've no idea. It's a long time since I've been into a play area.
Yeah, I think it is. I've often driven past it on my way to the M25 if I go that way, and it always looks like a really nice place to be. Anyway, it's the Ebury Play Area, located in the open space of the Aquadrome in Rickmansworth, and they've had a major makeover in recent weeks, and they now are looking beautiful. The photographs that I've seen are absolutely lovely. Apparently the purple tower is the thing to go for. Looks good to me. And they've got supported by 500 children and accompanying adults at the redeveloped play area opening on the 8th of April. 500 people, 500 children there for the opening. Sounds brilliant. They've got swings, they've got traditional play equipment, all ages and ability, and the popular, as I say, purple play tower. There looks like really good things for balancing, really good things for Tarzan swings. That's for me. rolling down tube slides, or just being pushed on the swing. There's even a trampoline there. So for any young people in the area, great place to go. Drag your parents along, drag your older relatives along to make sure that they can have a lovely afternoon there. Picnic tables, benches and seats, even for those maturer people amongst us, an outdoor gym within the playground. So really, really good resource there. Nice to see that some council money's been spending on keeping our young people healthy and helping them to access the outdoors.
Good, thank you. Now, this event is happening in a few weeks' time, but the reason why we're talking about it now is you might need time to find your voice.
Absolutely, Diane, yes. Not only to find your voice, but also to get your name down on the list. So, The Voice, they've just had their final their final winner for this year, I think. Not entirely sure. I didn't see the final, but so I'm not entirely sure who won. But I did see all of the finalists, and I thought they were all pretty good. So maybe next year's winner comes from Watford, and if so, then they'd be really well. It'd be the easiest place for them to audition would be at the Horns in Watford. The Horns, just very close to me here at the moment, on the roundabout by the library and the town hall. The Horns, little bit of a pub on the corner there, on the 25th of May. So yes, it's a little way off, but you've got to get your name down for the auditions. So auditions will take place from 8:30 on the 25th of May. Get there at 8 o'clock, get your drink in so that you can listen to the auditions. They're having 10-minute slots each with a 5-minute turnaround for the next person up on stage. So it's really tight in timetable. And because they've got limited spaces, they're going from 8:30 till midnight. But because they've got limited spaces, you've got to get your name down on the list. So if you want to be part of this, if you want to get your name down for an audition to maybe be on The Voice next year, it's moving to ITV, you know, then you've got to contact Jane Gillies or Giles. Jane Giles. At the Horns to get your name on the list.
Yes, exactly. That surprised me when I saw it that it was ITV, because I was thinking of it as a BBC show, but I wasn't aware it was about to move. I thought it was the year after next. Anyway, thank you very much for that, Tania.
My pleasure, Diane. Have a lovely, lovely weekend.
And June, it's good that you're in fine voice yourself.
Hey, isn't that good?
Yes, without the popping and blurring we had last week. Okay, and now it's time for sport. If Neal is there, fingers crossed. Neal?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, oh, great. Well, we'd like to see you as well if possible, please. Oh, great.
There you go.
Yeah, that's great. Now, I suppose really there's only one place to start, and that's Anthony Joshua winning his fight as you predicted last week.
Yes, Anthony Joshua. Last week we were talking about the game, and we said he looks like the real deal, but he's coming up against a tough fighter who's a world champion. It wasn't so tough after all. 2 rounds it took to knock him out. First round, he looked a little bit standoffish, Charles Martin. Second round, early on, big punch, down on the floor, straight back up. First punch down on the floor, and he couldn't get up for the count. So it turned out to be a very easy win in the end.
Yeah, so and there's already talk about a fight against Tyson Fury, who's Britain's other heavyweight boxing champion.
Yeah, well, so that's the great news, is that Britain has 2 world champions at the moment. Yeah, Tyson Fury's been throwing around a few insults and trying to big himself up and put Anthony Joshua down, which goes on a lot in boxing. But Anthony Joshua is polite to the extreme. He's a very nice chap, and he's handled it well and says he can't wait for a unification fight.
Did you stay up to see it, Neal?
Yes, I did. It wasn't that late, actually.
I'm not into boxing at all, but we were down the pub and realised, obviously, there was a big hype around it being on. It was amazing. The whole atmosphere of the pub was just incredible. We were down the Tudor. But yeah, it was a great atmosphere. And there was a lovely piece in the Watford Observer this week about Anthony Joshua's previous school. The headmaster had written a piece saying it was really encouraging for young people to see that, if you've got a dream, go for it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the girls in the shop, they all went to school with him, knew him, and he was just a fantastic guy. Brilliant. And we actually watched some interviews after in America, and or the TV. They seem to have fallen in love with him because of this fight, because he gave one of the best after fight speeches in the ring that you'll ever see. He was just didn't big himself up, wasn't whooping around like you find people. He was just very calm, collected, very complimentary to everyone, and it was exceedingly charming. I think he's won over the Americans.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Okay, now Watford. They stopped their and losing run of 4 defeats from the trot by drawing 1-1 with Everton.
Yes, much better performance. Bit back to old times, really. Thank goodness. Not at their best, as Martinez said we were in his post-match interview, but we were back to the high tempo. We were playing players in the right position, so Etienne Campou went into the centre of the pitch, and there were 5 changes from the Arsenal game, and it all worked well, and people walked out the ground happy. Goal-wise was quite funny, because it was well into injury time in the first half when it was a terrible mistake by Britus that led to the Everton goal, and you had Watford fans in their thousands just heading down the tunnel for half-time, only to hear lots of cheering coming from the ground when Hollybass raised at the back of the post from a corner and put the ball in the nets. Well, so we thought. Unfortunately, latest news is he's had that goal taken away from him by the league, so they're saying it was an own goal. So unfortunately, he's still got to wait for his opening goal for Watford.
And it's own goals is Watford's 3rd highest score of the season, isn't
it? Yes. Yeah, and unfortunately it wasn't the forwards again that were really adding the danger. Ighalo was probably the only player who didn't have the best of games. But the rest of the team played really well. Both goalkeepers had saves to be made, and I think 1-1 was definitely a fair result, and gives Watford a lot of encouragement going into this weekend.
Yeah, and both managers seemed happy with a 1-1, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. It could have gone either way. That just an honest reflection, because they were very good saves at the end of the game by either goalkeeper. But both teams played good football and at the top of their game, so they were both happy.
Okay, and there's some let's put it this way, newspaper discussion about Flores' future at Watford from the end of the season, following this poor run since Christmas.
Yeah, I guess it's only natural after such a poor run, but he's already exceeded the expectations the managers gave him, the owners gave him at the beginning of the season. It's just because we were doing so well, they re-evaluated what they wanted for the end of the season, and it's going to be tough.
Okay.
To match that, and everyone's happy. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, fine. Sorry, you broke up. It's getting to that time where people nominate Player of the Season, and Gomez looks as though he's got it wrapped up already.
I couldn't disagree with that. He's been man of the match more times than anyone else. He's probably won us more points than anyone else, even our forwards. And after having a bit of a bad time at Tottenham towards the end of his time there, he's showing everyone what a great keeper he is.
Okay. Matthew Vydra, now Watford hero from a couple of seasons ago, had 2 really good seasons for Watford. Been out on loan this season and at Reading, and they haven't really taken to him, have they?
No, it's not gone too well. He actually started off quite brightly and scored a few goals, and they sort of seem to like him, but he's not had a good time. He's a hot and cold player, Matthew Vydra. When it's going well for him, he's brilliant, but he seems to go off the boil. But Sanchez has said doors open to him, pre-season training, knuckles down. He's got every chance of getting in the squad.
No, which is good. Now, semi-final is Sunday week for the FA Cup.
Exciting.
if you haven't got your tickets, there are new opportunities to get some. Although I think they've sold 27 or 28,000 already, haven't they?
Yeah, there's a few thousand left, and season ticket holders are now able to buy extra. So if they've got friends they want to go along, they can get up to 4 per season ticket. So it looks like we're going to sell our allocation. So it should be an amazing atmosphere on the day.
Okay. Now, Watford have got 2 league games this week. Against West Brom and West Ham. West Brom tomorrow away at their place. Sanchez is talking about lots of squad changes and rotations.
Yeah, I would hope tomorrow's game he doesn't have too many changes. Still got 8 days till the next game, the FA Cup final. I'd like to start with the same team that started last week. They were strong, they were together, people were playing in the right places, and it worked. So I'd actually like to see the same team go out, and certainly Hollybass deserves another chance at left back, and as does Brady's at right back. Against West Ham, changes are fully understandable. We're safe in the league. We've got an FA Cup semi-final come out. I wouldn't be surprised if he does wholesale changes and rests everyone who he intends to play in the semi-final. Looking at results, that's going to make results a little bit difficult to predict this week. I'm going to go for a draw away at West Brom. That'll be a good result for Watford. And unfortunately, with wholesale changes, the likelihood is West Ham will beat us because they're a strong team. But let's hope we get some surprises from some players who are trying to prove a point. And let's hope we can get something out of it, but I wouldn't think so.
So all being well, this time next week we could have hit the magical 40 points.
Well, let's hope so. it's not going to happen. We don't need the 40 points. The whole talk of the 40 points, I think, has been part of the problem, because as I said last week, there's no way the other teams can get up. They've all got to play each other. We've got to play them. There's no way 2 of those teams are getting up to us. So I think it was a bit of a mistake talking about the magic 40 points earlier in the season. I think it backfired, and we should have just carried on.
Okay, that's great. Now, Kings Langley FC are going superbly well at the moment.
They're going big time, yeah. They're back on their winning ways, and they won last week, 2-0 away to Barton Rovers, keeping them neck and neck with Egham. So they're a point behind Egham with a game in hand. Royston, who were the team with game in hand a few weeks back, they lost. So now it's Kings Langley. Look like they're favourites with the game in hand. But as I said last week, points on the board, they count for a lot more. So the pressure's going to be on them in that game in hand, so they'll jump over Egham if they win it. Their next game is home at Fleet Town tomorrow. They beat them earlier in the season quite easily. And at home they'll be expecting to get a win out there for sure.
Yeah, because Fleet Town are quite a way down the league, aren't they? They're 16th or something.
Yeah, they're struggling, and at home Kings Langley have been good, so they'll be expecting to win that.
Right, okay. Cricket.
Cricket, yes. Can I just do a couple little bit of local football news? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a couple little things. Oxy Jets, looks like they were struggling. They've carried on their winning run, so they're fighting for their lives, which is good news. And do a little bit of an advert for WD Sports, seeing as we're friends and fans of Kevin Affleck. My favourite ladies team, Evergreen Ladies, are featured in it this week, which is great to see ladies football getting paper coverage, and it seems like that's the way they're going to go with this paper. They're going to do lots of local sports in it to get the word out and get people buying it, which is great news. And having opened it up, sorry, I've just opened it up on the front page because I've literally just picked up this paper. Big story, Watford plan to develop a stadium and put a second tier on the Elton John stand, so we'll bring more about that next week.
Yes, we will. We're hoping to get Kevin on the show next week, actually, so fingers crossed that we can make that happen.
Excellent. Great.
Cricket.
Yes, cricket. So where were we in the cricket? So it's the Watford Observer 14-14. If your local team wants to enter the Watford Observer tournament, you've got till Monday to enter. And there's 16 teams already in there. It's going to be in the draw, but there are plenty of other local teams, so it's a great opportunity to get in there and maybe play some of the bigger teams in the local area.
Yes, yeah. Details are on their website. the deadline's been extended till 9 o'clock on Monday morning.
Yes, yes.
Okay, well, thanks for that, Neil. Normally you talk about rugby, but this week we've got Chris Ogle talking about rugby, so this could be interesting. Chris, who have you got with you?
Yeah, hi Diane, can you hear me?
We can, yeah.
Can you see me? Because I'm in this strange situation where I can't see myself again. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I've come out outside of Watford into Leavesden actually today to meet up with Ian Topman, who's going to be talking about Falarians for us. So can you still hear me, all right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so you should be able to see Ian very, very shortly. So say hi, Ian.
Hello, how are you, Diane?
I'm fine, thank you. It's good to see you, Ian.
Right, so Ian, you're doing the rugby slot this week. You're doing Falarians specifically. Falarians are in an interesting position now. Technically, they're probably promoted already for the second successive season, but tomorrow they should clinch it. So what's going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow there is their last home game when they're playing Enfield Ignatians.
Okay, is that at home, is it?
That's at home tomorrow, Saturday the 23rd at 3 p.m. down at the new field, or near the new field.
Right, and I mean, I'm an old boy, Watford Grammar boy like you, so Falarians is the, if you like, the Watford Grammar School sort of old boys, as it were.
It was. Many years ago we were the old boy network, but we broke free we've been an open club for many years now.
Okay, and so tell us a little bit. So last year they got promoted, and have they been in this division that they're currently in before, or is this kind of as high as they've been?
I think at the moment we're in London 2, Northwest,
right,
which I think is about as high as we have been before. And what happened was last year we got a new coach, Richard, who came in, and we got a very young squad because we've been looking after kids and training them up now for about nearly 20 years. Okay. And so on a Sunday we get 300 to 400 kids down playing from the age of 6 up to about the age of 16 when they're colts. And then the colts are now mixing in with the senior team, and a lot of these players are actually homegrown products who have come through, and they're still young. It's a very young team.
So Northwest 2, am I right in guessing it might be Northwest 1?
I believe it is Northwest 1 next year, yeah.
And so in rugby, that's a real, is it a step up, a massive step up?
It's it's always a step up, but it's going to be another big step up for us, because although you win this season, you're going to come up against hardened teams who've been around in that league for some time. So there will be a greater fitness required, and we will also need a greater skill level to cope with the teams that we're up against.
And what's the impact on a club like Falarians of going up that? I mean, obviously there's a great, like you say, great fitness, great skill level. What does that really translate to? Does that mean better coaches? Does it mean more practicing? Does it mean you've got to go out and fish for some players from outside?
It's all of those things, really. You need to train your top players more. They need to have greater fitness. I think we're getting another coach in to help with Richard to look after the first team. And of course that has a ripple down effect for the rest of the club. And the club is very much up and coming. We're one of the biggest clubs in Hertfordshire, but we're one of the newest ones. So we're not part of the established elite, but we do an awful amount in the county. Like we quite often hold a youth festival every year when there'll be teams from all over the county playing at all different ages. All right, just hundreds of boys and girls playing rugby, which is amazing. And we are in the process at the moment of doing the negotiations, or with the finalisation for a new pavilion, not a new pavilion, an extension to our pavilion. And we've just had fantastic news because Watford Borough Council have confirmed they're going to give us a grant for 200,000, which will make a fantastic difference to the club, to our ability to raise revenue within the club, and we will also be looking at extending or making the changing facilities even better than they are at the moment. So, I mean, as a club, we're really on the up, very much due to our chairman, Kevin Brind, and his committee. And essentially what we would like to do is I know Kevin would like to get an artificial surface down there so we can then play all the year round. Because the trouble is, as you know, Chris, it's a bit waterlogged down there because it used to be the watercress area down there. So it gets a bit muddy sometimes, so we need to sort those things out. But we've just had a new car park, so new car parking facilities down there as well, which we did in liaison again with Watford Borough Council.
Fabulous. And you got a beer festival coming up, haven't you?
We have a beer. We do. We have a beer festival which starts, according to my notes here, on Saturday, the 22nd of April at 6 p.m. and will go on all afternoon all day until Sunday afternoon on the 24th. And so there will be a great weekend of beer, cider, wine, rugby, music, and food. Everyone's welcome.
Any rumours that if the first team get promoted, they'll be there for the whole duration?
I think it's extremely unlikely that the first team will be there because the culture has changed, and so actually the first team are mainly teetotal because they're just conscious of their fitness. That's the way of the world.
I'll give you a bit of news here. I used to play table tennis in I still do in the Watford Table Tennis League, and Valerians always used to have a team that won very often the league, and but they had a key to the bar. So when we played Valerian, we ended up there till 2 in the morning drinking.
I'm shocked and surprised at you, Chris.
They're not in the league now, so that's a shame. We don't do that anymore.
But I think the first team may be dry, but I think the rest of the club won't be.
They make up for it.
Yes.
Yeah. Any questions for me, Diane, for Ian? Have you got anything from the floor there?
Well, it's an amazing record, having only lost 3 games so far this season. Is it just the coaching and the fact that the young blood are coming through, or is it something else as well?
What you mean that they've only lost 3 games this year? Is that what's that down to? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is it?
The success is due to the fact that we've got a very good coach, Richard, and we've got a very good young team, which is very keen, and that is due to the fact that at every level within the club we have qualified coaches. All right, so they're always being trained, always moving on, and so it's the club in-house development of the kids which has been so important, and we comply with the RFU standards. We complete with loyalty and we good manners and sticking to the rules, not arguing with the ref. They're all taught the right way, and more importantly now, they're taught the best way to tackle, the right way to tackle, because obviously concussion is a big issue in the rugby world. So we teach the kids to play the game properly, to tackle properly, and then medically we make sure that if there is an injury they are looked after as quickly and as well as possible. So recently there was a game where one of the opposition was injured and we had 2 medical people there, our guy and their guy, and within a very short time he was whisked off, and with the best care possible.
And what's the average age of the first team, would you say? So it's a young team?
Early 20s, maybe 24, something like that.
Fabulous. Anything else, Diane?
No, that's all from me, thank you.
All right, so thanks ever so much. Ian, you're the league representative. What does that mean?
No, I'm legal advisor to the club.
Right.
All right, and then but I'm also Hertfordshire Youth County Disciplinary Officer. So it's my job to look after what goes on with clubs. If the kids if there's an offence and they've been sent off, then they're dealt with, and it's always very strict requirements. But I also do some of the seniors as well, and again, that's such a difference between the 2 differences between rugby and football. One is there's never any trouble between the supporters, no matter how much they drink. It's always nice. And the other thing is that the referees are always called sir. There is an awful amount of respect, no matter how big you are, like Martin Johnson. At the end of the day, the referee is sir, and you do what he tells you to do.
Fabulous. Excellent. Well, thanks ever so much for talking to us this afternoon.
My pleasure.
And back to you, Diane, in the studio, so to speak.
Okay, well, thank you for that, and thank you to Ian also for his insights. Now, Catherine.
Yes, I'm just going to add one thing to the Re the Fullerians Beer Festival. It's actually on the Friday as well. Yeah. It's the 22nd, 23rd, and the 24th of April.
I thought that, but I haven't had a chance to double check, and I thought 22nd? No, that's a Friday.
Yeah.
But anyway,
the reason I know it's going on the Friday, it would be a pointless exercise otherwise.
You will be preparing this time next week. You will be preparing to go.
Absolutely. Well, I'm doing the Saturday. I think Alex is going on the Saturday. I think there might be a few young greens there on the Saturday. So yeah, ciders, ales, live music, great food. Looking forward to it. Okay.
Well, if after all that you want some free tennis.
Absolutely, something to work off all the jollity. Yeah, this is a great scheme. This is aimed at girls aged 12 to 18, and it's basically a set of free tennis sessions, and this is happening in Radlett. It's led by a qualified coach, taking place at the Radlett Tennis Club in Watling Street. These are fun sessions offering girls a chance to try out the sport or improve existing skills. It's not all about hard work, it's also about the social side of things as well, so you can make some new friends while you're there. You don't need to book, just turn up. They're starting on Sunday the 24th of April, running from 5 till 6:30 in the evening. If you want more information about it, please phone 020 8207 7801. As usual, I'll post some links up at the end of the show as well. But this sounds like a great idea, and it's free.
Good, good. Now, the Palace Theatre have a couple of things coming up.
Yeah, this is a couple of films coming up, first of all. One with a really tricky name, which I'm going to have a go at. This is called A Bigger Splash. This is running on Monday the 18th of April, 7:30 in the evening. £8 for a ticket, concessions are £6.50. There is a booking fee as well. But Monday, 7:30 in the evening, A Bigger Splash. It's all about a famous rock star. It stars Tilda Swinton, fabulous actress, I love her, along with, now this is Matthias Schoenaerts, not sure about that name. It's also got Ralph Fiennes and Dakota Johnson, which are much easier to say. I had a look at the clip. If you go to the Watford Palace Theatre website, on some of these films they've actually got little video clips, so you can get a good idea of what the film is about, and this one looks really exciting. So yeah, that's one to look out for.
Okay, great. And there's another one, a delayed live screening later on in the week.
Yeah, this is Tuesday, 19th of April, 7:30. This is £15, no concessions for this one. Tuesday the 19th. This is Matthew Bourne's The Car Man. Now again, if you go on the Palace Theatre website, have a look at the clip for this. It looks amazing. It's based around Bizet's opera Carmen. But obviously with a bit of play on words there, you've got the car man. Have to think about this one. So we've moved from the Spanish cigarette factory, and we've moved into a greasy garage diner in 1960s America. So completely different setting. Brought it bang up to date in a very Matthew Bourne sort of way. If you've never seen any of his performances, then go see this one. You get a real flavour of what he's all about. We saw years ago, we saw Sleeping Beauty by Matthew Bourne. And it resembled something out of the Twilight vampire movies. It was actually pretty dramatic. This is a very different flavour again, but still very modern. Definitely worth a look.
Okay, great. Now the Colosseum, and you've already alluded to the first item on the list with Nigel Kennedy.
Absolutely, yeah. I just, I looked at this one a few weeks ago and I thought I would love to see this. The ticket prices are a bit pricey, which is what put me off to start with. But this is Nigel Kennedy. He's playing his new Four Seasons and Dedications. Now this is a very, very different interpretation of the Four Seasons. Again, have a look at the video clip on Watford Colosseum website this time, and you'll get a real flavour of what it's all about. It's not just about the music, so you really need to have a look at the clip to see what I mean by that, but it's definitely worth it. This is Tuesday the 19th of April, and this is at 7:30 in the evening. As I say, tickets are not cheap for this one, but it's definitely worth it. You will find that all the front row, all the front stall seating is already gone. Likewise, a lot of the rear stall seating as well. There are a few seats still in the balcony area. So if you want to go, get in there quick. Nigel Kennedy is such an inspiration for music lovers, particularly young classical music lovers. If anybody saw Sunday Brunch last weekend, he was on there, and he was an absolute smash. He was brilliant. Looking forward to it.
Okay, and in fact, it's worth saying that even the trailer for the event is a really interesting piece of videography, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, yes, actually, that's one thing I was going to say. Even if you don't want to go to the whole concert, can't afford the whole concert, watch the trailer. It's really worth it. And so you do get a great idea, a great feel of what he's all about.
Okay, and if you're young enough and you want to build stuff, you can next Saturday at the Coliseum.
Yeah, this is a great one. Anybody interested in the arts, suitable for ages 10 to 16, particularly if you've got a bit of a flair for drama theatre, or you think you might be going into it in, later on in your education. This is a course that's actually worth something in terms of actually getting a certificate at the end of it. Excuse me. This is the Arts Award Programme. In brackets, they've got making stuff. So this is the practical side of arts projects. They've got 8 Saturday sessions at Watford Coliseum over the summer term from the 23rd of April to the 25th of June. These are Saturdays. These are 10:30 in the morning till 12:30 in the afternoon. So this is finding out about all the different areas of the arts from professional artists themselves. So you've got some top-notch tuition there. And I say, particularly for those who might be thinking of, drama, theatre, arts, and particularly the behind-scenes stuff as a career, you can gain practical skills in all the different arts, stagecraft and whatever, and actually attain the Arts Award accreditation, which counts towards UCAS points. So really quite a valuable thing, as well as being great fun, of course, and learning some new skills and making some new friends as well. It's £60 for the term. There's no booking fees on this one. Go directly through the Watford Coliseum on their webpage or give them a ring. Great idea. Love this.
Okay, and the Watford Philharmonic Society have been trying to get to grips with Handel.
Yes, trying to get a handle on Handel. And again, the first thing I think of Handel, I think water music. But actually, no, this is Zadok the Priest. And this is Alexander's Feast. Now, again, you see, I got my diary out for this, but I thought, well, I've got to see Zadok the Priest. This is just amazing, not just with the orchestra, but the choral side of it as well. It's an absolutely phenomenal piece of work. And then I found that actually I'm busy on that day and I can't go at all. So I need someone to go and tell me what it was like. This is on Saturday, the 23rd of April, 7:30 in the evening at Watford Coliseum, presented by Watford Philharmonic Society and Choir. Watford Philharmonic Choir and Orchestra. This is an evening with Handel. I will tell you the ticket prices in just a second when I find them. Tickets £19, £18 and £16, depending on where you want to seat. There are some concessions. Have a look on the website.
Okay, and if you're thinking of getting married or plans to get married later in this year or next year, or even the year after, Watford Coliseum might be able to help you.
Absolutely, nothing wrong with planning ahead. Absolutely, especially when it comes to weddings. This is a very interesting one, and there's a few hotels that do wedding shows every now and again. This is again at Watford Coliseum, part of Hearts in Hearts. This is a wedding show, and this is in conjunction with the Wedding Guide. This is on Sunday, the 24th of April, from 12 till 4 in the afternoon. You can basically go and see some of the region's best suppliers of all things to do with weddings, whether it's venues, dresses, cakes, singing waiters. I didn't know that was a thing. Apparently you can get singing waiters. There's lots and lots to see. It'll give you a really good idea of the sorts of things you can book up for your wedding. There's also going to be an entertainment hub where you can see a variety of performers showcasing their work. So you've got bands, you've got soloists, you've got instrumentalists, all the sorts of things that you might be looking for your wedding. So that's Sunday, 24th of April, from 12 till 4.
Okay, great. The Horns Pub have quite a range of events as usual coming up, starting with something tomorrow night.
I was just going to mention very quickly the band that we showcased last week on Sunday night, the Chiltern Hillbillies, was actually our friend Clive, who some people might know from League for Drinks on a Thursday. His friend, also called Clive, was playing in the band, and Nick went along with Clive to see Clive in his band. Apparently it was brilliant, really good fun. So in the coming days, they've got Saturday, 16th of April, they've got Fivefold Kiss. This is a 5-piece covers band, powerful, charismatic female vocalist, love that, backed by a dynamic 4-piece band. They do lots of different covers through all the decades. It sounds like great fun, something to keep everybody entertained. This is from 9:30 in the evening till 1 in the morning, so a bit of a late night. Oh, it's free, by the way.
Okay, and then we have the Zimmerman.
Also free on Sunday, 17th. Yep, this is the Zimmerman. This is the Bob Dylan tribute band I mentioned before. 6-piece band. An afternoon of musical delights is how it's been billed. Yeah, basically it's a tribute band, everything to do with Bob Dylan, from 4 in the afternoon till 7 in the evening. Again, it's free.
Okay, great. And if you're not at listening to Nigel Kennedy at the Coliseum, you might want to take part in the quiz.
Absolutely. This sounds like great fun. This is £2 entry for this one, Tuesday the 19th. This is Mix Music Quiz. That's Mix Music Quiz at the Horns. So, do you know your music? Well, he would find out whether you do or not. It's fun and fast-paced, only £2 a person, lots of music clips, and you can win a great prize. There's cash prizes, there's a Sunday lunch prize for 2, including desserts, they've noted. And you can also win 2 tickets to see a Thursday night tribute band of your choice, 8:30 on Tuesday. That sounds like fun.
Okay, that's great. And Tania earlier on was talking about auditions for The Voice, and on Wednesday you have an opportunity to practice.
Yes, absolutely. This is Shane Lamont presenting his open mic Ram Jam sessions. They've got a Facebook page that's worth following as well. This is on Wednesday, the 20th of April. Every Wednesday, in fact, they do an open mic night. So basically, you can go along with your band and showcase what the music that you love to play. Shane is setting up from 8, looking for an 8:45 start. Obviously, he's got a bit of kit to get out first. But basically, anything that you want to play, whether you're an originals band, a covers band, whether you're a solo performer. He's also said that if you're a performer without a band, come along and talk to him. If you're an instrumentalist and don't have a band and need a band, go and talk to him. This sounds a bit like many, many years ago, Hammond's Music Shop in Watford used to be a bit of a hub for all musos, and if you needed somebody for a band or you were looking for a band, that was the place to be. I think this is the place to be now. Go along and talk to like-minded musicians. So this is April the 20th, Wednesday evenings, open mic night. It's free.
Good. And if you're a different type of muso, there's something happening at the Watersmeet tomorrow.
Again, something completely different. This is the Harrow Apollo Male Choir presenting Flying High as part of their 70th anniversary. Yeah, this looks like a fabulous evening at Watersmeet, like you said. This is the band of the Royal Air Force Regiment, along with soprano Abigail Harris. Yeah, the renowned military band and voices of the choir will be entertaining everybody to celebrate their 75th anniversary. So on 16th of April, 7:45, £15 for adults, £12 concessions. Yeah, go along to that one. That's a Watersmeet.
Okay, great. And something I don't think we featured before, ballet.
No, I don't think we have, unless possibly in a delayed live thing mentioned at some point. But again, this is a lovely classical note to end on here. The Vienna Festival Ballet presents Swan Lake. And if you've ever seen Matthew Bourne's Swan Lake, it's not like that. This is the traditional one. Yeah, one of the best-known love stories performed by the ever-popular Vienna Festival Ballet. So big costumes, stunning scenery, international stars, and loads of lovely Tchaikovsky music. This is at Watersmeet, like I said, 22nd of April, 7:30, £21 adults, £19 concessions. Book early for that one. I'm sure it's going to be popular.
I'm sure it will be. Well, thank you for all of that. And there's lots of music happening in Watford and surrounding areas this weekend and heading on into next, which is great to see because it just helps to bring the town alive. Now it's time for some link for growth events that are coming up before Catherine does her restaurant review as usual. This week on Link for Growth, Chris will be down at Barracuda, which is next to the High Street Market entrance between 10 and 11:30 to talk talk to anyone who has any questions about Link for Growth, what it does, how it works, what its aims and objectives are. Then on Sunday, if you fancy a traditional fry-up for breakfast, you can at the Junction Cafe on St Albans Road near the station, where there's Link for breakfast between 10 and 12. So that's as I said, for those of you who might want to fry up on Sunday morning to recover from a Saturday or something. Then on Monday morning, there's a Link for Coffee at Ocean Bells, which is on the High Street with the entrance down near Ask Pizza and Boots and Boots High Street entrance. So that's down there. They're usually well-attended events. And on Tuesday, Chris has the opportunity of trying more lemon drizzle cake. Now, I actually had some lemon drizzle cake the other day, I will admit, and it was delicious because there's a Link for Coffee at the kitchen in Croxley Green. So I go down there, talk to whoever's down there for the Link for Coffee, and order some cake with your coffee. It is well recommended. The cakes down there are absolutely fabulous. And then on Thursday the 21st, in the evening from 6 p.m, there's Link for Drinks at Wetherspoons Pub and on Watford High Street, the Moon Under the Water. This is usually the most popular event of the entire monthly calendar, with a good turnout of well over 20 people during the course of the evening. So please do call in and come and see us all there. Catherine, restaurant reviews.
Not quite a restaurant, more of a pub this week. I'm talking about the Land of Liberty, Peace and Plenty. This is located in Heronsgate in Chorleywood, easily reachable via Rickmansworth all around the M25. It's a lovely, lovely traditional pub. They do food. Again, you find it quite traditional. You can get a lovely pork pie and a bit of mustard on the side. You can get all sorts of pies and pasties, actually. And they're all freshly baked, freshly cooked on the premises. You can also get a really nice pint of beer. Now, I'm not really into the beers, but my husband, as most people who watch the show will know, he likes his real ales. And it's actually just won Camera Pub of the Year award. If anyone's not busy tomorrow night, come on down to the pub and you'll see them actually receive their award from 8 o'clock onwards. We shall be there, look forward to seeing you. But yeah, they also do a whole range of ciders as well. One of the few pubs in the area that actually does a fantastic array of proper ciders. By proper ciders, I mean still cloudy ciders. They're always busy. It's usually standing room only by the end of the night. It's a fairly traditional quiet pub, so you won't find a fruit machine in there. You'll even see notices when you go in saying, please don't get your mobile phone out. I don't know whether they still do, but they used to have a pot on the beer counter, so that if you do get your mobile phone out at all, you've got to put some money in the pot. So they do enjoy a bit of peace and quiet. As I say, very traditional, proper pub that a lot of the locals use, and people actually travel for miles around, like us, to go frequent. So if you're not busy tomorrow night, come on down and, well, buy us a drink.
Okay, well, thank you for that, and I'm sure you'll be handing the pot round later.
The beer pot, yes.
Yes, exactly. I'm not saying which type either, which type of pot. Anyway, that's it for this week's show. We've actually managed to end on time, which is quite unusual for us. So I'd like to thank Chris Ogle and Ian Totten for talking about the rugby earlier on, and to Tania for all the news. She's waving.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Diane. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you, and I'm glad you didn't have all the gremlins that you had last week. Obviously, the fingers crossed worked.
Absolutely.
So we'll try it next.
Or the IT has suddenly worked out all of its bugs.
Yeah, well, we'll try the same thing next week. And thank you to Neal also for his insight onto Watford Football Club and Kings Langley Football and what will be happening this weekend. Last weekend, he's too modest to mention that he predicted 1-1 scoreline for Watford, and that's what it was. So hopefully Neal's record will be continued into tomorrow when he's predicting another draw. And also finally, thank you to Catherine for the restaurant review and all the news and all the music events that are happening in and around the district over the next week or so. So on that point, I'd like to say thank you all and thank you for watching, and hope to see you all again next week. Bye bye.